Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Dailymotion, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your fourth and final video blog of the night for Wednesday, February 25th, 2015, around 8:19 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. Going to be another cold night, and tomorrow through Saturday going to be below average temperatures. We won't make it above freeze. Make it to freezing, 32 degrees. What else is new about this winter so cold? Maybe we could get up above 32 Sunday and Monday. Some news to report. Craig Sager, who is the sideline reporter for NBA games on TNT and NCAA men's basketball tournament games and Major League Baseball games, is going to be returning to reporting on the sidelines in March, says Craig Sager's son, Craig Jr. Craig has been sidelined since April of last year due to fighting leukemia, but he's in remission, so it's great to be seeing Craig back on the sidelines in March. Craig's known for wearing outlandish jackets. And that's about it on that. My fourth and final video blog subject of the night is my personality profile. Tonight's personality profile is about Lee Smith. Lee was one of the most famous closers in Major League Baseball history. He had well over 400 saves, and he was a dominating closer, but he hasn't gotten too much consideration for the Baseball Hall of Fame. Lee was born in Jamestown, Louisiana, and he grew up in nearby Castor, Louisiana, and he was a great baseball and basketball player in high school. He was such a great baseball player that he was scouted by the Cubs by legendary Negro League baseball player Buck O'Neil, who was working as a scout for the Chicago Cubs at the time, and Buck was credited for signing Lee Smith. Lee was drafted by the Cubs in the second round of the 1975 Major League Baseball Amateur Draft, 28th overall. Lee played parts of 6 seasons in the minor leagues. At first, Lee was a starting pitcher, but he wasn't that great of a starting pitcher. He had very high ERA. In 1978, in one of the minor leagues Lee was playing, his manager demoted him to the bullpen, and Lee was so mad that he was threatening to quit and try out to do college basketball for Northwestern State University in Louisiana, but he was talked out of it, and then he continued. He decided to work out of the bullpen, and he became a good bullpen pitcher, like a good relief pitcher. He made his major league debut with the Chicago Cubs in September 1st, 1980, and he was stuck with the Cubs in 1981, using as middle relief and stuff. And by 1982, Lee Smith became the closer of the Chicago Cubs, and he was a dominant closer for the Cubs for several seasons. He led the National League in saves 3 times in 1983, 1991, and 92. In 1983, he only led them with 29 saves, which was very low for saves leader back then. That's, I think, more pitchers in the 80s pitched more complete games, so the bullpens weren't as important. And Lee Smith was like part of the 1984 Cubs National League Eastern Division title, and he almost went to the World Series in 1984, but the Cubs blew a 2-0 lead. Lee Smith was traded to the Boston Red Sox in 1988, and he was the closer for the Red Sox for parts of 3 seasons. But in 1990, the Red Sox got Jeff Reardon to be the closer of the Red Sox, and Lee Smith was traded to the Cardinals, and then he was a closer for the Cardinals for a few years. Then he bounced around team to team, Yankees, Orioles, Angels, Reds, and Expos. He retired in 1997. He was a 7-time All-Star. He actually led the American League in saves in 1994, and with 36 in a strike-shortened season, 11 times Lee Smith saved at least 30 or more games. 3 times Lee Smith was in the top 5 for Cy Young voting, and he finished runner-up in 1991 to Tom Glavine in the National League, and he had another top, I think, 5 finish, like 92 and 94 for the Orioles. And Lee Smith had the career save record from 1993 through 2006, which he was surpassed by Trevor Hoffman for most saves. Eventually, Mariano Rivera holds the record for overpassed Trevor Hoffman. And Lee Smith's career stats are 71 and 92, 3.03 ERA, 1,261 strikeouts, 478 saves, 1,289.1 innings pitched, 1,022 games Lee Smith appeared in, and he finished 802 of them, and he started no games. And Lee Smith was a very dominant closer and stuff. He first appeared on the Hall of Fame ballot in 2003, but only got 30% of the vote. And then every year since, Lee Smith was in between 30% and 45%. He peaked out at 50 a few years ago, but he went back down. And he's 2 more years left on the ballot, and he's not going to get in by the baseball writers, because he has to climb up like that to get to 75. He won't. Lee Smith will probably get voted into the Hall of Fame by the Veterans Committee, and Lee Smith's stats say he should be a Hall of Fame. He held the save record for 13 seasons. I think sometimes the detractors say that Lee Smith had a losing record. He never pitched in the World Series. He didn't have any clutch, postseason saves. But if anybody, he was a dominant closer, and plus he held the save record for 14 seasons. And Lee Smith pitched more than 1 inning in many of those save situations. Now, relief pitchers, closers only come in for 1 inning. And Lee Smith struck out, was a great strikeout relief pitcher, which was pretty good and stuff like that. And I think, Lee Smith should be in the Hall of Fame. He should have been voted in years ago, in my opinion. But the sports writers are kind of a little biased towards relief pitchers, especially closers, a new position. There's only been a handful of closers voted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Hoyt Wilhelm, Rollie Fingers, Dennis Eckersley, Bruce Sutter, Goose Gossage are the only 5. But definitely Mariano Rivera is going to be voted in to the Hall of Fame first ballot 2019, and probably Trevor Hoffman be voted in by the baseball writers and stuff. And Lee Smith definitely should be in the Hall of Fame, and I liked him as a good closer. He pitched for the Red Sox for a few years. He was a great closer for the Red Sox. I'm surprised that they should have kept him around, but I think they wanted to sign Jeff Reardon because Jeff Reardon grew up in Western Massachusetts. Maybe one of these days they could do like a video blog about Jeff Reardon. In fact, I think when baseball season comes up, I'll probably do like a week of personality profiles, video blogs about great relief pitchers. Something to keep in mind during the baseball season, because I'm going to do these theme weeks and stuff about anything for my personality profiles. That's about it on that. I'll be back tomorrow. Facebook, friends, YouTube followers, Daily Motion, and Twitter, with 3 more video blogs. First video blog will be about the top 10 male celebrities that should be on ABC's Dancing with the Stars in future years. Second video blog will be about MBTA bus route 62/76 that goes from Our Life to Bedford VA Hospital via Hampton Air Force Base and Lexington Center. Third and final video blog of the night will be about former WWE superstar D'Lo Brown. Get down with the Brown. And the top 10 list will be taking a hiatus after Friday. And sooner or later, Julie brought in Heidi Pratt's video blogs. And don't forget, when March rolls around, March Madness video blogs. Good night, everybody.